In this episode, we are going to explore yet another slice of the Buckeye State. First, we're going to spend some time in Indian Lake State Park with old and new friends. We'll go for a ride on a rare amphicar and a crazy fast pontoon boat. Then historic Clifton Mill, a quick stop at Columbus, the state capital, and ending at Hocking Hills on the foothills of the Appalachians.
I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV, yeah.
Well, we are in the Buckeye State. Ohio is one of those states that might surprise a lot of people. It is relatively under the radar for most, except for the locals, and sometimes it feels like they want to keep it that way. But in fact, there is so much to see and do that I couldn't do it all in just one episode. Just like last summer when we visited Put-in Bay on Lake Erie, this summer we're doing yet another slice of the state, beginning at Indian Lake on the western part and ending at Hocking Hills on the foothills of the Appalachians. What a coincidence that I arrived right behind our friend Jim. I swear, we did not plan this. So here we are, Indian Lake Campground here. And there, that's Jim's rig over there. It hasn't quite leveled yet, and well, yeah, beautiful day here in Ohio. Ever since we arrived, Jim has been trying to coordinate with this gentleman, Joe Shannon, who owns some very unique watercrafts, and I think he's arrived. Let me tell you, it's been hectic. It's been hectic. The boat is here. The traveling Buckeyes are here, by the way. Hello there. All right. Oh, you got that? Oh, you got the DJI, yeah. I thought you got the new GoPro. I'm like, oh, I'm jealous. Yeah. Anyways, here we are, and Jim, I don't know. This is like an episode of My Crazy Ohio Family, but don't worry. We'll at some point we're gonna get it together.
We didn't tell him that was it.
Wow! Look at the paint job on that thing. It is a classic Glastron Carlson scimitar with T-tops. It is quite a beauty, actually.
Yeah, this is traveling Robert, and this is the traveling Buckeyes. They're all doing.
What year is this boat?
So it's a 1980, it might be an 81. It's a Glastron scimitar. Glastron's they're still in business.
Wow.
They were kind of a premier boat maker when the fiberglass went to fiberglass in the 60s. So they were really popular in the 60s with fiberglass. Elvis had one. But then this was their flagship in 80 or 81. I think for 3 years, 79, 80, 81, they made, I think it was 500 of them, and and half of them went to Europe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we're thinking about 250 in the country.
Wow.
And I'd like
T-tops, that's cool.
Yeah, I'd like to think I'd like to think this is one of the best examples left. I've seen at least one other one online that looked probably better than this one.
I've never seen one before. That's awesome.
All aboard?
Yeah, all aboard.
How do we do this?
So you can step here on the wood, and then preferably down to here if you can.
Yeah, hold on. Here we go, perfect. All aboard, all we go, here we go. It is a truly beautiful boat, one of those rare and unique things, and as I hinted earlier, Joe seems to be a collector of such. tomorrow we'll get to see another one, even more unique, I think. We're on our way to Cranberry Resort Waterfront Bar and Grill, which is actually located on Seminole Island, one of the so-called Indian Islands, in the middle of the lake. You can drive to it, but it is much cooler to arrive by boat, and it is such a beautiful afternoon here as we approach magic hour. We are even getting some incipient fall colors here in late September. Zooming across the lake. We are approaching the islands, and this is one of those lakes with lots of nooks and crannies, and I am so glad we hooked up with Joe, because this is one of those places best enjoyed with a boat. Well, sunset is upon us. We must be close to our destination. Yes, there it is. Cranberries.
No pelicans. I think they're like seagulls,
yeah,
or lake gulls, right? They will be lake gulls.
I think it is called seagulls.
All right, we made it. We're gonna let them do their thing, and then awesome. Yes, beautiful, and the beautiful time of the day to be here on the lake. It's almost sunset, as you can see.
Oh, I'm famished.
I haven't had a Reuben since Kentucky, like 2 years ago.
Such a great time hanging out here. And just like that, day turned into night. See you tomorrow. Well, good morning. It's a beautiful fall morning here at Indian Lake State Park in Ohio. It is a brand new day, and I have a feeling Jim has a whole action-packed itinerary planned for us. So let's go pick up Corey and hit the road. Unfortunately, Christy can't make it today.
Morning!
Morning!
First, we're going back to Cranberry because the owner, Jimmy, has invited us to ride on his pontoon, which is nothing short of spectacular. That right there is Sandy Beach Bridge, built at a time when there used to be a great amusement park here. Here's the dam, and that's a beautiful boat right there. I just discovered Jim's car has a sunroof, much better for filming. And we have arrived. I'm gonna fly the drone while we wait for Jimmy. There's Jim showing Corey his drone. There he is. That's a nice pontoon. Sadly, Jimmy is no longer with us. He died in a tragic accident less than 3 months after this was filmed, which is very sad. He was that guy who seemed to have everything: a prosperous business, all the toys, his own island on the lake, and a super nice gentleman. I'm glad I got to meet him, if ever so briefly.
You guys ready?
Yep.
Hold on.
We're ready. Oh yeah.
Now this has got to be one of the fastest pontoon boats ever. I think we got up to 60 miles per hour. Yeah, definitely a fun ride. Lots of boats, lots of activity here on the north side of the lake as we make our way to Atkinson's resort, where Joe is probably waiting for us with his amphicar. Yes, you heard correctly, amphicar. So far, very impressed by Indian Lake, and everybody has been so friendly. There he is. Now look at that. That's a beauty.
Barbs, he's got like a bungee type straps in the front.
I got this side.
Look at that. It's an amphicar. Hey Joe, how are you?
Morning, how are you?
Good man, good man. Good morning. Oh man, that's beautiful.
You're one of
It's a 1965.
1965.
1965 Amphicar. I'm probably not completely up on my numbers, so don't quote me on all this, but it was built. They were built between 63 and 67, I think. The company went out of business in 1969.
Yeah, I imagine they didn't make too many of them, right?
They made 3,900.
3,900?
3,900. I forget exact numbers.
Yeah.
They made 3,900. We're not sure how many are left. They was built for the U.S. market. They were built in West Germany, so most of them came over to the United States, but they didn't sell very well. So a lot of them went back to Europe, and no one knows how many. There is a number floating around out there.
This is so cool. Well, we're gonna take turns riding it, and while they ride, I'll capture all this from the air. They came back to pick up Barb, who was reluctant at the beginning, and off they go again. it is my turn now.
So people always ask how the doors seal on these, and there's a double lip seal. There's a seal here that gets replaced every so often, and this is probably original. And when the door is shut, you pull this up, it sucks the door shut, and then it's usually watertight.
And it does make a pretty watertight seal, right?
It does make it watertight. This one really doesn't leak at all. Years ago, I had that door leak for a bit. It got rusty from the inside and bowed out a little bit, and so it had a small constant drip that I would run the bilge pump every so often. But I've had that repaired, and I haven't had any problems since. So yeah, I could be in the water for hours with no real.
Jimmy is going to follow us on the pontoon so they can take some B-roll, which is technically a tri-tune, by the way, since it has 3 hulls.
And a couple other things that people seem to ask is the engine specs. So the engine's out of a Triumph Herald. It was a predecessor to the Spitfire. At the time, it was the best horsepower to weight ratio that they could find. So it's 43 horsepower.
We got some wake from that boat that was passing us.
And here's Joe doing his own social media update. Such a cool guy.
This is the actuator for the propeller. Okay. So I can just put it neutral there. It's a neutral. I can put it reverse the same way. And they will work independently of each other, and they will also work together. So when I'm coming out of the water, I can leave the propellers engaged and then put it in first gear, so we can get a little head of steam going. And then
this is something that you don't see every day. It's a car that floats.
Well, this was so much fun and such a unique experience, but all good things come to an end. Joe, thanks for the ride, for both rides. Till we meet again. I'm sorry, Ohioans, but the secret is out. This is a great lake, and you wouldn't think so at first sight. I mean, it is kind of flat all around, not a whole lot of topography, but there is something about it, isn't there? Lots of very nice houses all around the lake. And you gotta love the lighthouse, right? Ooh, there's the state park, right there. Here's the revolving statue of Virgin Mary erected in 1964 and once part of the Sandy Beach Park. And there's once again the pedestrian bridge connecting the two sides of the park, at one point known as Ohio's $1 million playground, but in spite of the Virgin Mary statue, which was intended to bring families back, the park fell into disrepair at some point in the 1960s, and the rest is amusement park history.
If you really want that burrito, you know, you can just dock your boats and, yeah. Maybe you got donuts. And there's a McDonald's too around here that has the dock. But yeah, this used to be two amusement parks, the Catholic and the Protestant. And that's the bridge that joined the, you know, the let's call it the ecumenical bridge.
Yeah, that story about the two amusement parks, the one Protestant and the other one Catholic, may not be entirely accurate, seems dubious, and I haven't been able to corroborate. So take it with a grain of salt, but it is a good story nonetheless. Let's get back to cranberries so we can continue exploring by land. I believe this was Jimmy's Island. And look at this other island. That's tiny. I think we've had enough aquatic fun for one day, so let's continue by land. Next, we're going to this town called Bellefontaine for lunch. But first, here's Tecumseh, one of the Indian Isles. Oh, check it out! Covered bridge. I love covered bridges. Just outside Bellefontaine, we encountered the highest point
in the whole state of Ohio. Elevation 1549. And yeah, this is it. Campbell Hill.
I thought that the highest point, as logic would dictate, would be in the eastern part of the state by the foothills of the Appalachians, but no, I was wrong. It is actually here, in this otherwise mostly flat area. Here we are, Bellefontaine. Coming up here to the left after the Logan County Courthouse, we are going to encounter Court Avenue, the oldest concrete street in America. In 1891, one George Bartholomew invented a process for paving using Portland cement, and Court Avenue was the first street to be paved using that process. We are hungry, and there's a brewery, the cleverly named Brew Fountain, so let's partake.
We're gonna have ourselves some, well, I'm gonna have some IPAs, Barbie's gonna have something, I don't know what she's gonna have. We have two DDs here, designated drivers, just in case Jim, you know. See how Jim parked? I forget the name, but it's an IPA.
Yeah, very nice. Cozy. We got some pretzels and some wraps.
We just ate here at Brew Fountain. I thought it was called Brew Fontaine, but that's because we're in the town of Bellefontaine, or Bellefontaine, as Jim says it is pronounced. That is supposed to be a really good burger there, and they have a pizza place, but...
The name Bellefontaine comes from the French, Bellefontaine, meaning beautiful fountain, but the locals have adopted the anglicized pronunciation, so Bellefontaine it is. And now we're gonna drive on the oldest concrete street in America. Next, we're gonna stop at the Marion County village of Morral, Jim's hometown. Population 399. The village was named after Samuel Morral, the original owner of the town site, and the post office has been in operation since 1877. Jim must know I have a thing for farm equipment because he just brought me to this farm.
That's his biggest tractor.
All kidding aside, this is where Jim's dad and his siblings grew up, and he knows I've been meaning to do a video documenting where our food comes from. And what better place than here? So maybe next time I'm in Ohio, we'll work on that.
He's in this group of people that are experimenting on farming, different practices from the guys that do the records. That's why it takes a lot more labor to do this corn, beans. Yeah. But by doing it, it gives the corn more growth or more sunlight.
Next up, Nothing Fancy Signs and Designs, owned by Jim's friend Scott Arnold. the oldest sign shop in the area. He actually started as a kid working with his dad, and at the time, it was all painted by hand. He's been actually working on a special edition t-shirt we're going to be releasing soon. And it looks like I'm gonna get to print my own shirt. How cool is that? Okay, my turn, once again. I'm getting good at this. Maybe not.
The big overhead, the chickens are up top, then below is where there's manure.
We're gonna start heading back. It is Friday, and I have a live stream to do. The round building is the J.H. Manchester Round Barn. Built in 1908, it is the largest round barn east of the Mississippi. And we made it in the nick of time.
The accessible bathroom, you know, without Corey here is filming a behind the scenes video with his GoPro, and that's something tonight we have to figure out how he can get me that memory card so I can get some of his footage. And
Don't you feel like you're on the ocean down here? I know.
Thank you. What do I say?
Wood's Diner. It's supposed to be a good place. This is called the Lake Monster. Here you go, the Lake Monster. We're gonna have breakfast, Jim, Barb, and the traveling Buckeyes.
Hey!
Let's just cruise around the lake, shall we? This is the historic Orchard Island Post Office. Let's stop once again by the location of the old amusement park. Besides the amusement park, this was once the location of a great dance hall. All that remains is the recently renovated bridge.
Alright, steep grade, foot traffic only. 25% grade.
Yeah, it is an old bridge, not necessarily ADA compliant. This is the view from the top, looking north towards the lake, and Our Lady of Fatima here on the right.
Alright, let's go back down. We're running late.
Let's go back to the campground, hitch up, and we're gonna start heading south towards Clifton Gorge State Nature Preserve and historic Clifton Mill, both near a town coincidentally called Clifton. But first, let's pay a visit to the dump and potable water stations.
I forgot to show you, but they have like a courtesy sewer hoses, so you don't have to pull out your own. They have sewer hoses. That's pretty cool. Ohio State Parks. Thank you. Now we're gonna fill up with potable water and off we go.
There's Jim in front of me. He's gonna park in the overflow and ride with me.
Jim is actually coming with me for this leg of the trip.
I'm coming to see you, Ely. Barb kicked me out.
All right, see you in Atlanta.
We'll have to build on the bedroom.
All right.
Or I'll sleep in the tent.
I'll make the dinette for Jim.
It's going cold. I gotta get out of Ohio.
My co-pilot Jim is taking me through some of the back streets in Bellefontaine to avoid downtown, but I see a low clearance bridge coming up. Only 11 feet, and Minitini is 10.5, so I don't know, we're cutting it close. In fact, this is the closest we've ever cut it. It is a one-lane underpass too, but luckily we made it through with a couple of inches to spare. Another reason to get an RV-specific GPS. I am lucky because I'm short, but my luck might run out one day. We've got some rolling hills around here. We must be close to that highest point in Ohio we visited yesterday. This is Urbana. Seems like a pretty nice town. About an hour and a half later, give or take, here we are, Clifton, and there seems to be a traffic jam going into town. I'm gonna park right here. And here are Corey and Christy, the traveling Buckeyes.
All right, we are in the town of Clifton, Ohio, and this is the famous Clifton Mill. And there's the gorge, the Clifton Gorge, which is supposed to be very nice.
I think we're going to eat here in a few minutes, but first, let's go see the mill. It is supposed to be a very popular place in fall and during Christmas because of the decorations and the lights.
And there's the wishing well.
I hear the best views are from the covered bridge. I think our table's ready. Let's do it.
And no, it's too late for breakfast. Lunch. That's our beer.
They didn't hear her, so I explained it.
And that's my burger.
Here we have a Buckeye tree. And Ohio is the Buckeye state. So, and these are the traveling Buckeyes. So,
I was looking for Buckeye, but they're all gone.
Here we are, Clifton Gorge.
High crime area. Don't leave your valuables.
That's on the other end. That's where the yellow streets.
Okay, we're here.
We're going to do a short hike, about half a mile. There is a trail that goes along the gorge.
All right, this is like the beginning of the gorge. There's the gorge down there. Maybe there's another viewpoint here, I think.
Ohio is definitely full of surprises.
Look at this guy, he's wearing a traveling Roberts shirt. I don't know. And that's a new shirt.
Check it out, there's a deer! Clifton Gorge here, what a pleasant surprise. Now let's continue. Corey and Christy are going to let me mooch dock at their place, and then tomorrow we continue. There's one last view of Clifton Mill from the air, courtesy of Jim. Good night.
Oh, very cool, very cool. Mooch docking with the traveling Buckeyes, Corey and Christy, and yeah, they fed me for breakfast, and now the adventure continues. I think we're gonna swing by the Ohio State House.
Turn left onto Brant Pike.
It's kind of on the way on our planned route here, and then we're going
to the I-70 East ramp.
And then we're going to Hocking Hill State Park, and then we'll see.
There it is, Columbus. We were here briefly back in 2011, just driving through, and then we had a great meetup in 2019, but today I just want to see if I can park downtown and just walk around a little bit, you know, get a feel for the city. I'm gonna take advantage that it is Sunday morning and traffic will probably be light. There's the State House, so let's find parking.
Alright, let's go for a little stroll here in Columbus, Ohio. I'm like 2 blocks away from the State House, 2 or 3 blocks. And this is apparently called the Annex. It seems like in almost every major city these ways, it looks like this may have been warehouses at some point, and they made them into condominiums. Alright, yeah, this is front and town. I just saved my parking space in Google Maps just in case. A cool cobblestone street here, and the state capitol should be 1 block to the left, that way. The state capitol, no, here they call it the State House. And you see the top of the trees are already starting to get, you know, those beautiful colors. Actually, I kind of feel like staying like for an extra week just to see the full-blown fall colors coming. By the way, we are here on September 27th. For those of you, of course, watching months from now, September 27th, 2020. This is called High Street. We're gonna make a left here.
There seems to be something going on in front of the Capitol building, or State House, as it is called here. Some kind of concert, or demonstration perhaps. I should really get closer. It is a little too windy to be able to appreciate the music fully from across the street, but I'm gonna walk across at some point here and get closer.
let's just walk across the street.
I have a feeling this may have been the site of some of the summer 2020 protests. I mean, the building is all boarded up with all these anti-racism messages right here in front of the State House. And I'm really intrigued by what's going on across the street.
Right now, to set the captives free. And Heavenly Father, we pray that you would send down your Holy Spirit.
We're just gonna do the same we've been doing in other capital cities this summer of COVID and just explore from outside. Columbus, by the way, as I think I've mentioned before, seems to be a very nice city. This statue symbolically guarding the State House is the Ohio World War Memorial, erected in 1930. It marks Ohio's participation in World War I. These are my jewels, this one is called. It is a series of life-size portrait sculptures giving recognition to the military and political leaders from the state of Ohio who contributed to the Union cause during the Civil War. The figure at the top, the Roman woman Cornelia, represents the state of Ohio. There seems to be some kind of wedding photo shoot. I'm telling you, lots of things going on. The bells keep tolling as we continue walking around all these monuments which adorn the State House grounds. This one, called Peace, honors those who served in the American Civil War. There are 4 of these cannons, produced during the Civil War in Cincinnati and intended for use in that conflict. Apparently, they still use them from time to time in ceremonies. Oh, it is Christopher Columbus in Columbus, Ohio. How appropriate. It is officially the Columbus Discovery Monument.
That's Christopher Columbus himself, who gives the city its name, right? And now we're gonna end it with this concentration of people here in the entrance. Beautiful city, Columbus, by the way. I had seen it in passing before, but the only way to really see a city and explore it is to get off the car and walk it around a little bit, and definitely pleasantly surprised by this little segment of downtown that I've seen. Here's one more sculpture here. Oh, little Cuba. So this is this is to the Spanish-American War veterans. And of course, the Spanish-American War is where Cuba, where I was born, finally got its independence from Spain. Yeah, 1902. That's May 20th, 1902. That's when when Cuba got its independence from Spain. Of course, it kind of remained dependent of the United States for a few years after that. But yeah, it became our own country. In any case, as I say, beautiful downtown. I'm gonna see if I can take a little video of the concert over there, and then we continue on the road. Very nice Capitol Square, as they usually are in every state. Let me see that one more monument over there, and then we go. The Ohio soldiers who were part of the American liberation. If you save one life, it is as if you saved the world. Yeah, this one is in remembrance of the Holocaust. You know, it says here, 6 million Jews who perished in the Holocaust, and millions more, including prisoners of war, ethnic and religious minorities, Freemasons, homosexuals, the mentally ill, and developmentally disabled, and political dissidents who suffered under Nazi Germany.
Let's check out the concert, which seems to be religious in nature. Oh wow, lively. This is one of those things that you can't really plan for, like an impromptu outdoor concert in front of the State House.
Well, that was one of those things that you can't really plan for, right? That's pretty cool.
Let's check out this building. Looks important. And what do you know? It is the Ohio Supreme Court, as illustrated by that sculpture of a gavel.
Jim and Barb just reminded me that the river is right here, yeah, like 2 blocks away from where I parked, so. All right, here we are. That's the river.
This is called Scioto Mile Promenade, and of course, that would be the Scioto River. On the other side of the river, there are a couple of museums, like the Center of Science and Industry and the National Veterans Memorial and Museum, but we'll visit those some other time.
Well, the journey continues. We'll come back soon. We'll come back soon to Columbus, either in spring or next fall when I do like my great cities of the north great cities of the Midwest series. We're gonna come back here and do a more in-depth, video of the city. When things are back to normal and we can do like breweries and all kinds of stuff, which would be a lot cooler. And maybe I'll ride a scooter. Until next time. Well, now we go to Hocking Hill State Park. Yeah, I would love to linger and explore everything. Like, there's a bunch of restaurants and stuff. It's like a river walk. Many things. I haven't really done my research on Columbus, and this wasn't even part of the plan. The plan was to stop by the Capitol building, take a picture, and I've been here for almost 2 hours. So, you know how it is when you're traveling. So I'm gonna pretty much drive non-stop to Hocking Hill State Park, and then we'll plan the rest of the trip.
As we continue east, the terrain begins to change, and we encounter more and more rolling hills. It is beautiful around here, and of course very touristy. Lots of signs advertising the different attractions of the area, like cavern, zip lines. There was a sign that said campground to the left, but of course, I got confused and went into the main parking lot. Wow! Take a look at this place! That's just crazy. Okay, let's look for that campground. Yep, this is it.
Alright, rookie mistake. I let the nice microphone battery run out, the wireless, but we're stuck with the GoPro microphone. Hopefully it works okay. Let's go for a little hike.
Wow, they even have a swimming pool. Unfortunately, not open for the 2020 season.
I'm gonna tell you, this feels almost more like a resort than a regular campground. Alright, this is what I'm looking for because I have to do laundry later today. Okay, it's adequate.
It's 1.5 miles to the large parking lot area and the main attraction, which seems to be Old Man's Cave. It is kind of late in the day, so we may not be able to do everything, but there's always tomorrow morning. This is Rose Lake. Very nice.
Old Man's Cave, that way. It's supposed to be 1.5 miles to Old Man's Cave. Onward we go, 1 mile left. Alright, let's see real quick. Alright, yeah, we would not want to fall. Alright, let's continue. Yeah, we are on the red trail, and of course the red trail kind of parallels the other two trails that go on the side of the gorge, and I hear voices down there, so yeah, I see them down there. Apparently I did 10,500 steps already today. Let's see what this is. Yeah, this goes to the Old Man's Cave. Oh yeah, this is the famous A-frame bridge. This is Old Man's Cave, so I'm gonna cross through here. Yeah, and I came through here, so from here I can just go back to the campground. All right, that makes sense. Let's do it. Let's go for it.
Okay, I've been online, I've seen pictures, and apparently there is usually a lot more water going through here. I'm thinking maybe early fall is the wrong time of the year to visit. That's the A-frame bridge up there.
It's not always one way.
We've completed this section of the trail. Tomorrow we'll do the rest.
That's the naturist cabin. Well, we've come full circle. Now let's head back to the campground. There we are.
Ooh. Well, good morning. It is 8:30 a.m. A little later than I was hoping to get out, you know. But what I'm gonna do, but by the way, it's just we're gonna do a little bit of a hike. Same area we were yesterday. You know, I'm thinking maybe do some of the waterfalls in the area, and you know, yesterday I was kind of in a hurry because I was afraid that it was gonna get dark. Well, today I'm kind of in a hurry because I have to check out of here at 1 p.m. It's 8:30. So if I can get back by 11, let's say, we'll be okay. Yeah, I know, I need to get new wipers. Today I'm just gonna drive to the visitor center. It saves me at least half an hour each way. What a difference, huh? Yesterday this place was packed. You know, probably the whole parking lot, there was a line. It felt like Yosemite, one of these places where it's like super crowded. But it's Monday morning and there's hardly anybody here, so we should have the trails almost all to ourselves. I'm gonna park right here. Beautiful morning here, by the way. 60 degrees. It's supposed to rain in the afternoon, but right now it's perfect. We're gonna do the one-way trail once again, but this time we're gonna go to Upper Falls and Lower Falls. You're not gonna believe this. It is raining a little bit, actually. Oh well. Oh, how funny, they have the trail marked on the sidewalk here. It's a beautiful day. I mean, we have some dark clouds and it's kind of sprinkling, but it's still a beautiful day. And the crispy air and some of the trees starting to turn it's really nice. Okay, this is something I've been seeing in almost every trail I've been to lately. People just seem to drop their masks everywhere. I don't know what's up with that. This is the trail entrance. We're gonna do the blue trail, which goes through Upper Falls here, Devil's Bathtub, and here we're gonna go under the A-frame bridge, down to Lower Falls, and I suppose we return here and do Sphinx Head, the Naturalist Cabin. We saw that one, and where's Old Man's Cave? It's somewhere around here. Here we go, Old Man's Cave right there. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. And we are here. That's a larger version, you know, a complete version of the state park. It's a one-way trail. I don't know if it is one-way because of COVID or if it's always been one way. I don't know. We have some warnings. All right, let's do it. Gonna do the blue trail.
Yeah, as it turns out, yesterday we only did a short section, the easiest, most trafficked part. From the visitor center through Old Man's Cave, and then we turned around right before Sphinx Head. And I have a feeling there was supposed to be a waterfall right here.
I just thought I'd mention, this is definitely not the kind of place you think of when you think Ohio. Look at that cave over there. This is one of those hidden gems that not many people know about. This is supposed to be Upper Falls here. Although it would seem someone forgot to turn on the faucet because there's no water flowing. What a beautiful place this is. Tell you something, I like it much better now in the morning. I mean, look at this place. But I like it better because there's only like 3 of us in this whole gorge, I think. When it is kind of quiet like this, you are able to absorb the experience so much better.
I think this is what they call Devil's Bathtub.
also, when it is quiet like this, I mean, there's a couple of people, but not too many. You get to hear the sounds of nature, you know, all these birds chirping.
I think this is the spot where we came in yesterday.
Yeah, we definitely did this part yesterday, but today, since it is so quiet, it kind of feels different somehow.
That's it. That's the rock formation known as Sphinx Head. With a little imagination, you can kind of see it.
As the sun starts to shine, we're getting a lot of very deep contrast, and although it looks great in person, it's not so great for photography sometimes.
The camera just does not have the dynamic range to capture all the detail in the highlights and the shadows. This is where an HDR setup would come in handy. By the way, what we are exploring today is just a small fraction of the entire park. There are miles and miles of beautiful hiking trails, but we are really on the final leg of the trip here, and I'm anxious to head south.
According to the sign, there's supposed to be a waterfall here. Do I see it? Neither do I. Yeah, when I woke up this morning, I was thinking, let's do like most of the falls, all the falls we can see, but if all the falls are like this, may not be worth it. Besides, I left the campground a little later than originally planned. There we go. That's it. At least this one has a little bit of water. Needless to say, all these falls have been a little bit of a disappointment here. I thought nothing could beat those falls in DeSoto State Park in Georgia, but this one certainly did, at least in the lack of water category. Someone turn on the faucet. All right, let's continue.
It is a perfect place to meditate, isn't it? I mean, Look at this forest. It's marvelous. Needless to say, I never found the aforementioned broken rock falls. It must be completely dry, but the sheer beauty of this place was worth the hike, that's for sure.
It's not a trail, this is just a vista point, I guess. Yeah, the trail's that way.
That's it for our Ohio Adventure 2020. New destinations await, like West Virginia, for example. But more about that on the next episode. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and see you on the road.
I'm riding